Welcome to the Action Drug Rehab Hour. My name is Cary Quashen. I am your host, and it's great to be here on a Monday afternoon. And even better than that, it's not 300 degrees out there today, so we're getting a little break, although it's hot. So, anyways, we do a lot of different kinds of shows, but it always has to do with choices. And today, what I want to talk about is the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity, we all know what that means, right?
Yeah.
It's what?
Doing the same thing over and over without
expecting it to be different. Yeah. But when it comes to addiction, we do the same thing over and over again, but do we really expect it to be different? I don't think so. I think that we actually know it's going to be the same or worse. So what I kind of want to talk about, I want you guys to kind of tell your story, but some of you guys have done this before. And the other thing is, before we even go to those reasons, I mean, as we know, right now we're having a crisis when it comes to drugs. I'm not going to say fentanyl, because we all know, I'm so tired of hearing fentanyl kills. We all know that. Mm-hmm. But where is fentanyl, guys? Somebody tell me.
In everything.
Explain what that means.
My husband.
And introduce yourself.
I'm Regan. I'm an alcoholic.
Are you, I was going to tease you, but I won't.
The what? The rehab diva? Is that what you wanted me to say?
Something like that, but I'm going to behave, okay?
Yeah. So my husband just died of a meth-induced fentanyl overdose.
Say that again.
A fentanyl-induced meth overdose. Whichever way.
Explain that.
His methamphetamine was laced with fentanyl.
So here's the deal. Almost all the accidental overdoses are people that used the drug not knowing it was fentanyl, but died from fentanyl.
Correct.
So the real message that we need to give out there is not fentanyl kills.
Every drug kills.
Explain.
Even alcohol kills.
Well, duh.
I mean...
I'm going to be a valley person for that one.
I mean, they're even putting it in weed now.
Well, you forget, you know what? Yes, it's in everything. And what's driving me crazy is I keep bringing people in rehab. You guys are in rehab. You don't mind me saying that, right?
No.
So you're in rehab, and you hear me and all the counselors say the same thing. If you use, you're going to die. And then people go out and use and die.
Right.
So what is it that I got to do? How can I crawl into somebody's brain and twist it so they understand? If you use, you're going to freaking die. Fentanyl is in what?
Everything.
Explain.
They want to make it more potent. They want to make it more addicting. They want to make more money. And so they put it in because it's a more addicting drug. And then you go back for more if you don't die on the first round.
And let's get it straight. They're not trying to kill you. They're just trying to get you higher.
Right.
And the cartel know that lives are being lost, but here they call that like mushrooms will pop up and pop out, but there'll be more. So it's not anyone's trying to kill it, but here's what happens with drugs. Okay, fentanyl, let's use that. The cartel makes it, whatever they do, they give you the powder, they send it here. It goes to a dealer. They cut it. It goes to another person. They cut it. You never freaking know what's in this thing, how many times it's been cut, how much fentanyl is in it, which batch is bad. Which batch has too many? It's like chocolate chip cookies. If you put too many chocolate chips, are they what? Are they good? Yummy, huh? But if you're making a batch of pills and you put too much fentanyl in that batch, what do we have? Overdose. And right now we're seeing what you call mass overdose, meaning 3 or more at the same place. So fentanyl's in what?
Everything.
Fentanyl's in what?
Everything.
Fentanyl's in what?
Everything.
So why are we using anything?
That's why we're here.
But people don't come to rehab to get sober. They come to rehab for what? To stop doing what they're doing, or to get their husbands or their kids or their bosses or their dogs or their uncles or their aunts off their butt.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. They don't think, or they know, oh my God, I can't use the fentanyl. It's going to kill me, so I'll smoke weed. I don't like weed. Or maybe I smoke too much weed, so I'll drink tequila because I don't like booze. My problem is this, not that. But if we have an addictive personality, what happens?
We
get addicted
to everything.
How do you know all this, Regan? You sound like a pro, dude.
Because I've been to rehab 7 times.
All right, tell your story.
I think alcohol was always a problem because I started late, 21, 18 maybe, but I always got blackout drunk. So it was always a problem. But I was able to manage and function for a long, very long time on drinking on the weekends and then working, drinking on the weekends and working. And it got to a place where I said I'd never get to, where I was drinking in the mornings.
You had to, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to. I couldn't get out of bed if I didn't, not going to work.
Alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs to withdraw from. It's one of the only drugs that withdrawing without medical attention, you can die.
Right.
One of the only.
Right. And so my dad put me in my first rehab in 2014, and I think I stayed sober for about 6 months. And this disease, your brain tells you at some point you can have just one and control it. So
even though you know deep down what?
That it's going to get worse.
So the definition of insanity is, like I said, we don't expect it really to be different.
Right.
We just try to convince ourselves
that it's not.
Right.
And so I've been to rehabs in California, rehabs in Utah.
Yeah, we flew you in.
I flew myself in.
That's right, you did.
I flew myself in. The Bakersfield rehab picked me up. The actual part owner's wife and daughter picked me up from LAX because nobody believed that I got on the plane. And got into a little personal issue down there. Decided to come up here, but during that week, in between making it from there to here, this is going to hurt my kids who are listening, but gotta tell the truth. I ran around in the hood and I was drinking a lot and doing a lot of cocaine. And I had booked a flight to go back to Utah, and I was just going to try to stop on my own. And I called you and I said, I really want to come finish this at Santa Clarita because I need help.
Right. And we were speaking the whole weekend.
Yes.
And I was afraid you were going to die.
Yeah.
I really was. And you would have died.
Yeah. If I didn't know the people I know in Bakersfield, I would have died.
Yeah. What happened? I mean, let me ask you something. We were talking in the car, and your husband just passed away in November. Yeah. And you were in a rehab when that happened, weren't you?
Right, a rehab that didn't allow me to speak to him. And so when I opened the phone, we weren't allowed our cell phone. So when I opened the phone, I had a video message from him, and then messages from his parents, and I knew right then.
His parents sent you a message that he lost.
They had left me voice messages. They didn't want to text me that, so I called them back and found out.
So he overdosed from meth, which was laced with fentanyl.
Right.
And it killed him. How did you deal with that?
I drank.
Yeah. Didn't work, did it?
Nope.
Alcohol is a depressant. So when you guys are depressed and you drink more, you just get more depressed.
Right.
You know, you feel like you're numbing it, but at the end of the day, you're not really numbing it. It's worse. And then you come down and you don't know how to deal with all that, so you have to drink more. You know, and then you feel even worse, and you come down and you have to drink more. And if you don't drink, you get sick, and then the drugs come in, and it's just a vicious cycle, man. And until you all figured that if you don't drink anything and you don't use anything, your life will get better.
Right.
If you try to manipulate this disease of alcoholism or drug addiction, you can't win. No one's smarter than the drugs today. No one's smarter than the disease of alcoholism or drug addiction. You can't manipulate it. You can't connive. You can't be sneaky. It just gets you.
Yep.
And like you said, you know that. So your kids are listening.
I know.
That's what you told them. I heard you say that. I didn't know that. What do you want to say to them?
Whew.
First of all, I want to say something.
You're making me tear up
First of all, I want to say something. We love your mom. We love Regan, and I've been speaking to her for a long time. And I'm really glad that she's with us, and she's doing really good. And she can do this. She's strong enough. She's one of the strongest people I know. She can do this. And you all been through a lot of bad situations, but it's not too late.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say?
I don't want to die anymore. So I'm not going to promise you because I can't make promises that, you never know, but we'll try to make this my last stint, and if not, I will bring myself right back here.
I tell you, you can make a promise. You can make a promise that you will stay sober today.
I will stay sober today.
And that's all that counts right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not here yet.
Yeah.
You can't promise what's not here.
Yeah.
But you can promise today.
Yeah.
And today you're killing it. And just for your information, you're doing a whole lot better than you think you are.
Okay.
Huh?
I said, yeah, really.
You're doing a whole lot better than you think you're doing. Look where you're at. And look what you're going through. You came in, girl.
They had to carry me into the car.
We had to carry you in, and the first couple of days was bad, and I thought you were going to end up in a hospital. But we got you through it.
Yeah.
And look at you now. How many days sober do you got?
I'd have to look. It was...
As she picks up the phone.
I'd have to look. I don't know.
About.
I don't know. 13?
Isn't that cool? That cool?
Yeah.
That is really cool. How do you feel about 13 days?
I'm proud of myself.
What do you guys think?
I'm pretty good.
Introduce yourself first.
My name's Josh, alcoholic.
Let's stay on her for a minute. What are you thinking about Regan?
She's doing good. I
Tell her, not me.
I remember when you came in, and it was not pretty, but then a couple days after, I could see the
lights come on.
Light come on in your skin, in your eyes, and you just seem more healthy and more social and talkative, and so it was cool seeing that from where you were when you first came in to now. So
Thanks.
no problem.
Yeah, no, when I came in, Regan just was like my mom, damn near. She was just rocking me back and forth.
Yeah, you did not come in good shape.
Not at all.
No.
You
Yeah,
look
it's
like
very embarrassing. No, but she was right there, holding me, telling me it's gonna be okay. But in that moment,
What do you mean? What do you mean holding you, telling you it's going to be okay? Explain.
I was in the shower. I must have passed out in the shower, and then somehow I'm on the couch, and then she's holding me and then rocking me and telling me everything's going to be okay. But in my head, I didn't think everything was going to be okay.
No,
you were coming.
You were coming off of what?
Fentanyl. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Why? Let me ask you a question. We're coming back to you. You're not off the hook yet.
Darn.
But why would anybody knowingly use fentanyl?
Nobody should or would.
But you did.
I honest to God did not.
At first.
But
you knew.
I was getting dope sick. That's when it was
Explain this. Explain what do you mean? I didn't know. Then all of a sudden.
I was already a drinker. I was raised like in a Mexican household, so it was kind of normalized. It was that's just how it is, you know. I didn't really think of it as a problem, but then it started. I knew it was starting to become a problem when my baby mom would start to get mad when I'll drop off my daughter a little.
When you what?
My baby's mom, my daughter, would get upset that I'd be driving with my daughter while like intoxicated, which is not okay.
You're not alone in that.
And it just, it's very shameful to talk about now.
I mean, if you think about, and I'm going to get back to you, but if you think about what we've done and who we've put in jeopardy and whose lives we put in jeopardy besides our own and who we hurt, it's crazy that we would even keep doing it. But the only thing that makes us not think about it is abusing. It's that cycle, like, oh my God, look what I'm doing. Okay, let me get loaded.
It's unreal. Because that's exactly, I would feel very ashamed and regret, but then prior to feeling that, what I do, I'll just drink some more. But then, so it was starting to become a problem, and I just got introduced from a coworker, like to, because it was hurting my kidneys as well, drinking so much, because it was just straight shots every morning throughout the day till I went to sleep.
It'll tear your insides to pieces.
Yes, where it was hurting my stomach.
Alcohol does, it kills you from the inside out.
And it was like a big problem, and then I just smoked. I was intimidated by it because it's foil and stuff. It just automatically looked very bad. Yeah. I've never done drugs in my life like that, ever. I'm not known for that.
What was going through your head the first time somebody said, try this, and they had foil and they were cooking it up?
I was very intimidated. But I was trying to make them feel okay as well. It's like, okay, like...
So why would you do it? I'm just curious.
I was trying to stop drinking.
So you figured this might be better than drinking, even though. What did you think you were using?
Oh, it was just perks. I thought it was a perk. So like throughout life, it was just like, a couple friends would say, "Oh, here's a perk" or whatever. But I would never be a drug addict. I never got addicted to anything before in my life besides alcohol, I suppose.
Right.
And then I thought it was best because the alcohol is causing so much problems. I just transitioned to that, and then next, I didn't even realize it, but I would go home to my mom, and then I would feel like crap, and I didn't know what was going on. And then once I figured it out, it just felt like it got even worse from there. And then that's what's called like dope sick. And I didn't know that's what I was feeling.
Talk about dope sick. What is that like?
It's hell. It's
what is that like?
It's literally just hell.
It looks like it too.
It just, I don't know how to explain it. It just,
everything hurts. Your hair follicles hurt.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just you really truly
guys,
think you're gonna die.
between you guys, explain it.
It just feels like death. That's the only thing I can explain it as. It's just the worst feeling I could possibly feel. You'd rather die than to go through it, or just take another hit. That's all you would want to stop it.
And I think that's why so many people are afraid to get sober or come in and get clean,
It hurts
because
so
they're
much.
so afraid of that first day or two of kicking.
It hurts so bad.
Yeah, I've never done opiates, so I don't know, but I've been in many rehabs where I've seen people kick, and it's just everything hurts.
I tell you, I've seen opiate withdrawals and fentanyl withdrawals, and this is all I've done for 40 years, but the worst withdrawals I've ever seen was alcohol.
The shakes and tremors and everything.
The shakes, the tremors, the seizures, the blood pressure, the hospitals. It's definitely medically a whole lot worse than it is than fentanyl.
Right.
Fentanyl's a whole lot more painful. Well, I wouldn't say that. It's painful. Alcohol is too. But alcohol is a whole lot more deadly.
Right.
And that's why I was scared of coming here on my first day, because I wasn't sober for like, let's say 2 years. Every day I would drink. So I was scared, because I was like, am I going to be able to do it alone or by myself, or am I going to get the shakes? And I'm lucky because I only got night sweats the first night.
Right.
And like a little headache for like a few hours.
Right. And then the next day we got meds and
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I didn't get any meds.
Oh, that's right. You didn't want any meds.
Yeah, I didn't want any meds. I
Right.
just wanted to do it on my own and not rely on anything else.
Why did you come into rehab?
What
happened?
I was hurting my family a lot.
Explain that.
I would be driving to different locations saying, oh, I'm going to go out with a friend or something. In reality, I would go to the nearest gas station and pick up alcohol and drink it at like a perc or something. And then
Right.
I would come back just a whole different person than I was when I left. And it was hurting my family. It was I was burning bridges left and right. I lost many friends throughout the 2 years I was using. And yeah, and like you said, the depression, like I suffered with depression, and I used alcohol to escape my mind up here.
Doesn't work well, does it?
Nah, it made it 10 times worse.
Exactly.
I hated myself more than
and you think you need to drink more to feel better, but it just makes it worse.
Yeah, like, and during the first year of using, it was fun. I wouldn't lie. It was fun. I had fun drinking. And then it started to become a
And always,
problem.
alcohol and drug addiction, guys, always starts innocently.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always fun. And it always feels good in the beginning. And it's always our friend in the beginning. But once it turns on you, guess what?
Right.
It will never be your friend again.
Yeah, it felt
Cucumber,
like-
you can't come, once you've been a pickle, you can't go back to being a cucumber.
That's
Yeah.
about the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're addicted to alcohol or drugs and you become that person, whenever you pick up, it's going to be the same craziness immediately. As you said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. But what?
Expecting a different result,
But-
but the result is different. It's just worse.
So we know it's going to be worse.
Right.
But don't we really know it? I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's a question for you guys. When you say to yourself, I think I can do this again, don't you really know you can't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really. Don't lie to me. I mean,
No, I
do you
know.
really? Am I telling the truth?
At first, I thought, like, oh, I could definitely just drink like a normal person. And that
Like a
lasted-
gentleman.
Yeah, that lasted about like a day. Then the next night, I just went crazy.
Don't we know that though?
Yeah, I think the disease is very cunning, baffling, and powerful. and patient. But we ultimately know it's that first drink. One is never enough, and 1,000's or one is too many, and 1,000's never enough.
When you were in rehab and you left rehab, and you were on the streets for a few days, was it good or bad?
Bad.
Was it real bad?
Yeah.
It was, because I spoke to you.
Yeah.
And you didn't really care if you lived or died at that moment.
Right.
But you made the right choices.
Right.
And you're a heck of a good person.
Thank you.
And what's your name again?
Regan.
I know. What's the name again?
Regan.
Repeat after me. My name is Regan.
My name is Regan.
And I'm freaking worth it.
And I'm freaking worth it.
Now say it again.
My name is Regan, and I'm freaking worth it.
I want them to hear you outside.
My name is Regan, and I'm freaking worth it.
You're damn right. On that note, we're taking a break. This is the Action Drug Rehab. We shall be right back. Welcome back to the Action Drug Rehab Hour. I'm Cary Quashen. I am your host. Before we went on break, we have Josh to my right.
Hello.
We have Regan to my left.
Hello.
And we have Jay right over at the end.
What's going on?
So, Jay, fill us in on what we've been talking about and where we're at with
right
all this,
now,
and then we're going to pick up.
Yeah. Right now we're at the definition of insanity. I know it sounds a lot easier than said than done, but only when you realize it's actual legitimate disease where you personally, literally know you shouldn't do something, and yet you just do it again. It just doesn't make any sense to me, man.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why would somebody knowingly use fentanyl?
Right.
When we know it's killing more people than anything else in the country right now, why would somebody know nothing meant here, go to rehab and then have to go to 6 more? When we already know it doesn't work.
Right.
We can't drink.
Right.
Why would somebody think, maybe I can do this again, and realize in a day they can't, but keep doing it again?
Yeah.
Why, when we're in rehab, remember what you said in the car today? My head said, what? When I get out of here, I want to have a
Bloody Mary.
A Bloody Mary. I mean, that's just the thought. I know you talked about it, and you said, that's ridiculous, I'm not going to do it, but
right.
That's where my head is. That's the power of the alcohol and the drugs over our emotional state. When I've been clean and sober 42 years, going on 43 on Christmas Eve. I know.
Nice.
But you know what? I think the major reason that kept me clean is I don't ever want anything to have the control and power emotionally or physically on me ever again that drugs did.
Right.
And I absolutely won't let that happen. No drug, no alcohol, no nothing is going to have that control over my body, my being, my emotional state ever again. And if I didn't get nothing else for being clean, that's the best.
Right.
Because I can go to bed knowing that I'm okay, that nothing's controlling me.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of bad situations. A lot of things happen in my world that sucks. But I know that alcohol and drugs just going to make it worse.
Right.
So I got to deal with it. And when you deal with stuff, you figure out, well, it's not that bad. Yeah, it hurt and went through a lot of pain, and you feel all the feelings that you do in life with, anger, betrayal, loss, hurt. But you still don't have to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah, about the control thing, like, I wouldn't go anywhere unless there was alcohol involved. Like, oh, let's hang out. Well, are we going to drink? Or, like, I would go to a concert and I would check way beforehand if there was a bowl in the venue.
Right.
Because it's going to be boring if I just go, like, I would love the band.
Yeah, you might actually remember it.
Yeah, right? I would black out at so many concerts and just, like, remember snippets of the set. And I'm just excited to go out there and do the things I did sober.
How many days have you got now, Josh?
18.
How does it feel?
Clear-minded. I'm getting the best sleep ever, too.
How's your family feeling about all this?
They're just proud of me, and they were very supportive, and I guess, like, we're just all scared that...
You'll be like me and need another rehab.
So hopefully, this is my first rehab, but hopefully it's my last. So
you don't have to do this again.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you all this, right? If you do this right, you never have to do this again. And the only way to do this right is by not drinking or using anything when you leave. When we're young, we all have contracts. Remember these? Mm-hmm. When I grow up, I want to be. Remember those?
Right.
You want to be a cop or a veterinarian or whatever that is, and it changes a lot.
Yeah.
But we also have another set of contracts. When I grow up, I'll never. Remember those?
Yep.
I've said that so many times because I grew up. I'm a third generational alcoholic.
So you said what?
I said I will never be
Like?
like them. I would never. I don't get it. Like as a kid, I was like, oh, like growing up, I just saw it around everywhere.
When we have a parent, and I did, that was an addict. I mean, we grew up in fear they're going to be dead and they're going to this, and we go through a lot of pain. And I swore I'd never be like him, and I ended up like him.
But congratulations to my dad. He has 4 years.
Really?
So, yeah.
Is he listening?
Hopefully. I'm not sure who's listening or not, but
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
So he must be ecstatic you're doing this right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. He was my biggest supporter on this, my mom and dad. So, because my mom already went through the troubles of that, she doesn't want to go through it again. So they were ecstatic when...
Right. So they're your biggest fans right now.
Yeah.
What is your mom? Your mom might be listening. If not, she's going to
I
say
wouldn't doubt it.
So
Yeah.
what do you want to say to her? So let's start with Mom.
Mom, thank you for not giving up. I know I put you through a lot, but thank you for not doubting me about it and pushing me to get the help I needed and didn't know I need. So I love you, and I love you, Dad.
Beautiful. What is No, never mind. I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you. How does it really feel to be sober right now? Are you glad you did this?
I am glad I did it. There's some days where I'm like, I miss the days and the feeling, but I know that it only brings misery to me, and there's nothing that I really get out of it. And
you get a lot out of it.
Well, I get a lot out of it.
You get a lot out of it. You know, I wouldn't want to buy it from you. I wouldn't want to get it for free.
Yeah, but it's definitely helped me sort what is going on in my head every day, because my head is just like a NASCAR race, just keeps going fast,
Yeah.
never stops. So
you're at the ranch right now. How is that?
it's good. The people there are so. At first, I was nervous. I was like, "Oh, I'm not."
You were like in panic zone the first few days. Like, where am I?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not like these people," and my drinking's not that bad. But as time went on, and a few meetings later, I'm like, "Oh, geez, yeah, I was that bad," and it wasn't as it wasn't extreme to the instance of others, but it could have got there, and I still have the personalities of an alcoholic.
It never has to get there.
Yeah, no.
That's the thing. Your story, you're the director and producer of your story.
Yeah.
You can write the story any way you want from now on. It could be had a bad time, had a problem with alcohol, changed my whole life, and you can go on with your life.
Yeah.
Or you can write the story different, and you can leave a rehab and go get a margarita and figure it's going to be different and find yourself on the streets using alcohol and cocaine all over again, crying about what you lost in life and your husband and the this and the that and poor me.
Right. I mean, I definitely never worked
Mm-hmm.
the fourth step, and I would do 1, 2, 3 and shuffle out the 1, 2, 3 shuffle, and I think that those 12 steps are so important to get through.
You know. Here's something for you too, and this goes with that. The way to start forgiving yourself. I'm sure your kids forgive you. I'm sure they love you. What keeps you guys doing what you're doing is the fact that you can't forgive yourself. It's the guilt and shame. The way you forgive yourself is by knowing you're done. When you know you're done doing the things that make you feel bad about yourself, you then can forgive yourself. It's when you're holding on to them maybe one more time that you can't feel good.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, you're going to do it again. And how can you forgive yourself when you know you're going to do it again?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when it comes from here to here, and you say, you know what, I'm going to live now. I'm going to be that mom. I'm going to be that dad. I'm going to be that person. When you could say to yourself, you know what, man, I'm a good person and I'm worth it. What's your name again?
Regan.
And
I'm worth it.
What?
Regan, and I'm worth it.
What?
Oh my gosh, Cary. Regan, and I'm worth
You're
it.
damn right you are.
Well, I got a concert coming up, Jelly Roll, on September second, and I get to go backstage. So drinking would just make me not remember. I got to keep telling myself that drinking would make me not remember.
What's your name?
Josh.
And?
And I'm freaking with it.
You're freaking worth it. You're damn right you are. What's your name?
Jay.
And?
And I'm worth it.
Are you?
I am.
You're damn right.
Yes, sir.
So you got some kids, don't you?
Yeah, I got two beautiful baby girls,
How
man.
old are they?
7 and 5.
7 and 5. You know what?
Yeah, man.
Here's the deal. This is for you and every other parent out there that's doing what you're doing, what I did.
Right.
Is be the person that you want your kids to grow up and be. Repeat that.
I want to grow up to be the person that I want my daughters to grow up to be, or the man that they end up, with eventually.
Being with.
Yeah.
When you're old and going and gone, and what do you want your kids to remember you as? Some dope fiend that died on the streets, or a mom or dad that turned themselves around and was there for them and was their hero?
Right.
You can still be your kid's hero. You can be your daughter's hero. You can raise a family and be a hero of them.
Yeah.
Do what I say, not what I do. Guess what? Don't work.
No.
It don't work. You have to be the role model and example for what you want your families to be. You can be your kid's hero right now. You can.
Mm-hmm.
One day at a time.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah, I have like a niece and nephew, and I don't want to be that, drunk uncle. I don't want to be that label.
No, you don't. You want to be the uncle that they respect, look up to, and want to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids already lost a dad from drugs.
Well, no, that wasn't their father.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though. You already
they
lost
didn't
a
like
husband.
him, but they
Gotcha.
don't. They didn't. Their fathers are not participating in their life anyway, so they had already lost a father.
So they have you,
right,
and you can still be that person. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I understand that their fathers aren't there, and that guy wasn't their dad, and he was probably someone that they didn't respect or anything like that. I get that, but they love and respect you,
Right.
and we got to make this work for you
Right.
and them.
Yes.
And you, sir, how old are your kids?
7 and 5.
And you're using what?
Was using
If
fentanyl.
I can go through the ceiling and land on you, I would.
I literally would never have touched that if I would have known that's what it was.
Yeah, but you found out. So now, if you leave here and use, there's no excuse anymore.
Oh, no, of course not. No, everything's gone. My world is gone. I refuse. I can't do that.
Even alcohol.
Even the alcohol, I'd rather not even risk it.
Yeah.
I mean, the alcohol I'm excited. Like, I'm actually, very happy. Like, I'm going to be the first in my family to really, literally be sober. And I'm proud of that. Like,
Yeah.
extremely proud of that. I want to be somebody that my daughter's parents can be proud of. I want to be somebody my mom could be proud of. And that's all I've ever wanted, and that's all I've ever done so far. And I just did this dumb decision, and next I found myself a slave to a damn, that's just how I felt. I was a slave. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to. I did not want to. And I would do it just to feel normal. I would even get high. I would do it only to not feel like crap.
You know what the great
That's
thing
the
is, guys?
That's what happened with me with alcohol. I would get a little buzz for 30 minutes, and it was a burden thinking about, how am I gonna get the next drink?
When you're an alcoholic or an addict is when you wake up in the morning and you're on your way to the bathroom trying to figure out how you're going to get high or drunk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's about right.
That was the only agenda of the day.
Couldn't even sleep throughout the whole night without waking up.
Me either.
I have to wake up, take a puff.
I'd have
go
to
back
wake
to
up
sleep.
and take a drink of beer.
Or you
That's how
just start
just to
shaking.
sleep.
Or I couldn't
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
You know what's really
Unreal.
crazy? Is you don't ever have to do that again. You can do this thing one day at a time for the rest of your life. You can stay clean and sober and feel good about yourself. I'm not going to promise you a great life, but I'm going to promise you a better one.
Right.
Right.
That's a promise. I'm not going to promise you that all your headaches and heartaches and betrayals and stress are going to go away, because that's part of life.
Right.
But I am going to promise you can handle it. And I am going to promise you it'll be better.
Yeah.
And I am going to promise you that you'll walk through everything, and that at the end of the day you'll be proud of yourself. That I'm going to promise. and you're going to go to bed respecting who you are,
Yeah.
not passing out, waking up saying, "Oh my God, why am I awake?"
I already
Right.
feel that way.
Yeah.
Already, it's day 7. Just day 7. I already feel so damn proud.
You know, he got off Suboxone early.
I know,
Yeah, stop
I
that.
know. I'm not in there every day with you guys, but I know what's going
Yeah,
on.
I got off my medication early as well. You know, I don't want to be a slave to anything ever
Yeah.
again.
That's
It
a
wasn't-
miracle drug, though.
You know, and like,
Mm.
it's just, I feel like I was just so disappointment, like, to my daughters, man. 'Cause that's not me. That's not me. That's not me.
It was you.
It was.
It's not you.
It's not, but
It's what you turned into and what you're now not anymore.
yeah.
You guys check this out. Right now, you're a success story. You got how many days? 13?
13.
And you got 7?
7.
And you got 18?
Yep.
You guys are a success story. One day at a time, you're a success story. What time did you wake up today?
6.
I woke up at 7.
6. Yeah, I
So I
didn't
woke
do
up
that
at 7.
since high
That means
school.
you all have an hour more
Sleep,
sobriety
but-
today than I do, because we only really have today.
Right.
Yeah, I have more years, but that doesn't mean anything. We have one day at a time. We have today. That's it. Don't worry about tomorrow and next week and next year. That's a ways away, man.
And my thing is, I'm not even sad about it. Like, I'm extremely happy that I'm so. I'm like, because there's others like who are, you know, are taking this like a punishment, which I could see that, and I saw it that way too at first. Like the first couple of days, it was like a punishment, but then waking up today, I'm like, I'm not a slave to nothing, man.
That's right.
It's like there's beauty in the struggle, and I'm looking back at it, and I'm just like, I don't even know how to explain the feeling or the words of getting rolled out to an ambulance for the first time to just, man, it's a hell of an experience, man.
Swimming at the pool yesterday.
Yeah.
Bro, I hopped in for a
Oh,
second.
you guys haven't. I mean, yeah, the cook. You guys eat freaking better than I eat.
Dude,
When I want to eat good, I
she
come
gets-
to the rehab. Seriously.
I've
She
gained
gets down,
weight since
man.
I've been here.
I mean, that a man that can cook. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man,
Shout out to her.
Yes,
So
shout
now
out
you-
to Amanda.
Yeah,
shout out
Amanda.
to the whole staff
Yeah,
and the
the staff, for
counselors.
sure.
Like, honestly, 7 rehabs, this is the best one I've
Really?
really,
That's
honestly.
Yeah.
the first rehab right here.
I'm thankful
glad-
this is my
thankful
first-
this is my
yeah.
first rehab, bro.
Like-
That's what
Guys,
everybody keeps saying, bro.
Make it your last.
Definitely.
Oh, no,
man.
definitely, bro.
Come
Oh,
on,
it's got to
for
be
sure.
or I'm going to die.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
We're all gonna
we
die
all of
if-
us are gonna.
Yeah. You will.
Wow.
It's going to take you all
Not
out,
just you.
man. You know, and how many people do you know that died literally from alcohol or drugs?
Oh, I can't even count.
No, really. So you know what? If I asked that 20 years ago to people, not many people knew anyone.
Right.
People didn't die. Now, if you use, you die.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a maybe. It's if you use, you're going to die. If you use cocaine, or meth, you're gonna die from a fentanyl overdose.
Right.
I mean, if you buy a Percocet on the street, I promise you, it's not a Percocet. It's fentanyl.
Right.
Yeah.
It's in ecstasy. It's in everything.
Cocaine.
It's in cocaine. And we had those 2 or 3 comedians that died.
Yeah.
They found cocaine. No, it was cocaine. They bought cocaine, but it was laced with what?
Fentanyl.
No.
It's like you guys are kind of getting cheated, and it's terrible for me to say that, but you know, it is kind of normal for kids to experiment with stuff.
But they can't do that anymore.
No, that
now.
stuff is.
Why not?
Because fentanyl.
No, yeah. Even like my first week experimenting, I should have took it as a red flag, but yeah, literally, I just was asleep. It felt like, and the next thing I woke up and my girlfriend's crying, like, and then I was in the shower and
She thought you were dead.
yeah, she didn't know what to do, and I didn't. I guess that would count as an overdose. I guess
That
but
happened with me with alcohol
I didn't.
too.
I had no idea, and I was like, "Yo, it's like it's fine." But
You
that
know
was a red
that
flag.
right now, in this hour that we're here, over a dozen people are going to be found dead by accident from an accidental overdose in this
Sad.
country. Over a dozen. So this is to the parents out there. If your kids are experimenting or recreationally using drugs, it's playing with a loaded gun. It's Russian roulette at best, or pill roulette, or whatever you want to call it. I can tell you this, that everybody using street drugs today will either end up dead or get clean.
Yeah.
There's no middle place for it. And that, you ask these guys, am I lying?
Or in
No.
jail.
Oh, bro,
Or jail, right? Or crazy
I was
house.
so oblivious to this. till
There's
now.
no way to beat this. Nobody's smarter than this drugs. You can't fight what you can't see.
Right.
You don't know it's there.
Right. And now they're putting horse tranquilizer in it.
Now they're putting, it's
Dang.
called xylazine. And what xylazine is, it's an animal tranquilizer for farm animals. So what fentanyl does is it lowers your blood pressure when it gets you high and makes you feel good. What xylazine does is lower your blood pressure and makes you feel good. But when your blood pressure drops that low, bad things happen.
Right.
Now, there's something called Narcan that saves lives when you overdose. Xylazine is not an opiate. So xylazine won't, Narcan don't work.
Oh, right.
So on that note, let's go ahead and take a break. This is your Action Drug Rehab Hour. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Action Drug Rehab Hour. My name is Cary Quashen. I am your host, and it's really good to be here. And I'll tell you what, you guys, man, you're the reason why I do what I do, and I mean it. Because I know that if you figure this out, you're going to be okay. I also know if you don't, that your chance of survival is not so great.
Right.
And the chances of you growing up to be that person you want to be is not so great.
No.
And I also know that this is how simple it is, guys. If you don't drink or use anything, your life's just going to be better.
Right.
But people come into rehab and still think they're smarter than everyone else. They're different than everyone else. We don't know what we're talking about. It's a cult, and they can do what they want to do. And they always end up then in 6 or 7 rehabs.
Yeah.
Or overdose dead. Or finding themselves at 3 in the morning trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up at 42.
Or at 46.
At 46. I didn't want to say that. You know, I'm trying to be nice to you.
I mean, you got to tell the truth if you want to get better.
So there's people listening, you know that.
Yeah.
We have people that are out there that are listening. You got, I think all the action people are listening to you. What do you want to say to anybody?
I just appreciate the staff, and we have a really good house. We built really good relationships. We have fun together. It's going to be sad when some of us are leaving. And
So rehab doesn't have to be bad, does
No,
it? It doesn't have to be ugly or terrible or hard.
It's not. It's actually, we're having a lot of fun. We have a pool. I mean, how many rehabs? Well, there's probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
But, I mean, I don't know. It's just, this has been my best experience.
We just need a jacuzzi.
Yeah. Can you get us a jacuzzi?
You know, you are a diva.
Well, I'm getting the rafts, though.
So we got this air conditioning up at the ranch, and it's always about 60 degrees in that house. And you know what she says? I'm a diva, and I need a fan. And she didn't back off till I got her a fan.
And guess who I gave it to?
Who?
Yeah,
You got my fan?
I sure do, man. I couldn't sleep.
And guess who gave me his?
Who?
Lance, of course. A shout out to Lance for putting up with me on my drive, on his drive to bring me up here.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'm looking, I see where my friend Ronnie Wilson is listening. I want to shout out to him too. He's a great guy. He's a guy I've been working with, and we're doing some stuff together. But go on, Lance.
Yeah, Lance is just, Lance will tell you like it is, but he's so compassionate and so funny, and he cares. He's only doing it because he cares.
Yeah, you're right.
He's not making millions. You're not even making millions.
He's like,
No one's making millions there. I'll tell you
Right.
that. But you know what? More than $1 million is watching you guys survive. So when I get up in the morning and I say my prayers or whatever I do, I'm not asking for $1 million. I'm asking for the strength to be able to do what I do.
Right.
That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for my higher power to protect me, my family, and you guys. And that's what I do every morning, and I thank him every night for that.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to Brian. He works his butt off for us.
He does.
He makes sure that house is in order and that people are taken care of, and he just works his butt off for us.
Yeah. How about you, Jay? You want to say? How about your
yeah.
family? I'm sure your mama's listening.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little ashamed about it right now.
Well, so what? Say something to her.
Right,
What
no.
about your the mama of your kids?
Yeah, no, I really want to thank her a lot.
What's her name? Don't
Krista.
say. Well, tell her.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to my baby mama, Krista. She caught wind, because that's not like me to go ghost like that. And she knew, and next you know, she sends me a text saying, I'll be there tomorrow with my dad to get you. And she was there, right there in the morning.
Larry's
Not playing.
Larry's my partner.
Larry's
Yeah.
a great man.
You know, I got to make him proud and make sure this is all for nothing. And it's not all for nothing. I'll make sure of that. I'm gonna make him proud. I'll make her proud.
How about you make yourself proud?
No, I'm already proud.
Love that. How about you?
I'm proud.
I'm proud. I got on that airplane, didn't I? You didn't think I was coming.
Yes, I did think you were coming.
Larry didn't think I was
I
coming.
just was hoping you lived long enough to come. I knew you were coming.
Did you get some airplane shots?
Yeah. They didn't want to serve me because I was way too
I'm a little
loaded.
Drunk already?
But I said, hey, I'm going to rehab in California. Please, it's going to be my last one. So she was like, okay, but you're only getting one.
Oh,
That's great. That's great.
I know.
Did they give you a parachute? You're funny. But what's your name again?
Regan, and I'm worth it.
What's your name again?
Regan, and I'm worth
What's
it.
your name again?
Okay, Cary, that's enough.
One more time.
Regan, and I'm
Don't
worth it.
you ever forget that.
Okay.
Ever. What's your name?
Jay.
Yeah.
And I'm worth it. And I'm worth it.
You're damn right you are.
Yes, sir.
And your family deserves you.
Oh, they
Yes.
sure do.
What's your name?
I'm Josh,
Yeah.
and I'm with it.
Yes, sir.
Ever forget that.
Nope.
And you know what? We don't speak a lot, but you're really a good guy.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I speak to you guys a lot, but I'm glad that I got to hang out with you today. I mean, you're a really good guy.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate the fact that you're with us. So, good job, man.
Thank
and I got
you.
a lot of respect for you, sir. Give me a hug. Just don't try to kiss me. I know, cute, but, hold
It was
yourself
told not
back.
to.
So that's it. We got about one more minute. Anything you guys want to say to anybody out there, or just somebody that's thinking about getting sober right now?
If you're thinking about getting
It's worth
sober, call Action. It's worth it.
That's commercial.
Well, I could be your
Hashtag
spokeswoman.
ad.
Well, if you know what? How about this? If you think you have a problem with alcohol or drugs,
You probably do.
you probably do. Go with your gut.
Let
Yeah.
the people with open arms help you.
You don't have to do this alone. There's always hope. We will be back next week. Until then, I want to thank my guests. I want to thank KHTS. I want to thank Carlos. And, hey, we will be back next week. My name's Cary
Thank you for
Quashen.
having
This is
me.
the Action Drug Rehab. Till then, be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.